Welcome back to NFA Studios. I'm Reagan Wagner, CEO of National Financial Alliance.
I'm Kristen Wagner, COO of National Financial Alliance. We are here today to talk about something very important that affects lots of millions, actually, of Americans. This is the Social Security Fairness Act. The reason that we're talking about this today is because it's April. So April is Social Security Awareness Month. So we really wanted to own in on this topic and really dive deep into this new Fairness Act.
But there's some huge changes that happened during this last administration and what's coming on going forward into this year. And some of those were there were big changes around the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset provision. These provisions have historically reduced or even eliminated the Social Security benefit for our public sector workers, to include our teachers, firefighters, police officers, and all those who receive a pension from other things that aren't with Social Security. How are they changing, and what is going on with those different changes, and what should people start looking for?
This is really big because all these years we've thought that if you have a government pension, TRS, ERS, all of these retirement pensions that you're collecting, you are offset on your Social Security by 2/3 of that pension. So basically wipes the Social Security away for a lot of educators and others that qualify for this government pension. So what's happening now is they came back and said, hold on, this isn't fair. So we're going to actually elimination, eliminate the elimination if that's possible. So basically they said, never mind, you get all of your Social Security or your spousal Social Security, whichever one is more. So if I am a retired teacher and I collect, let's just say TRS being in Texas, then I actually also have Social Security credits too and qualify for my own Social Security pension. And then I'm married and my husband has Social Security pension he's collecting. I can now file on his or I can file on mine, file on the TRS pension. So you have several different ways that you can start collecting Social Security if you're collecting these pensions and you fall under this windfall provision that's no longer there. So just make sure you're aware of that. If you have a financial advisor, reach out to them. They can walk you through the steps of how to, number one, find out if you qualify, how much you qualify for, and how to go about starting those benefits.
So do they still qualify if, let's say, they've worked and we'll use Texas, they're a Texas teacher and they've worked in the school system, but they've never worked in a Social Security job. Would they still be able to file on their spouse's benefit if their spouse had received it?
That's the really cool thing because a lot of people think automatically, like, well, I have no Social Security. I never put into Social Security. Well, that doesn't matter because you can file on your spouse's Social Security. Now you only get 50%, up to 50% of it, depending on if you're full retirement age or not. But at least check it out and see what you qualify for because any money is extra money that you weren't counting before.
Yeah, and 50% still better than 30%, right?
100%.
Yeah, huh?
That's a
So
lot of percent.
that is a lot of percentages. So when they start talking Social Security and we start evaluating that, typically in a financial plan, if you were a part of a non-government program or non-Social Security contributory program, we only focused on the pension that you were going to receive, like TRS or your firefighter's pension or your police department pension. Now we need to kind of step back and see what type of benefit that these folks would receive for Social Security, right?
Right. Right.
In those Social Security benefits, I think there's some confusion sometimes too, but they are taxable when people receive them, right?
They are currently, there's a pending law that is trying to get pushed through to make them non-taxable, but currently, yes, they are all taxable.
Right. So you want to be aware that this rule is changing, and I think that's where I was going with that is this is an ever evolving kind of program that's going on right now, and some of it involves taxation, or will it be taxed, or will it continue to be taxed? But as it currently stands, we need to prepare for it to be taxed, but then also prepare for it to be a little bit more than what it was before, right?
Yes, and another thing is that a lot of people don't know is if you have a spouse that qualifies for Social Security and you're collecting your pension to the government and your spouse passed away, let's go back 2 years ago. If this happened, spouse passed away, you actually got $0 of his Social Security pension. So there goes, that monthly amount that was coming in to support your family. So now with this Fairness Act, you can actually collect his entire Social Security pension if he passes away, or he or she, the spouse of the educator or other pension earner.
Now, yeah, and I mean, and these are huge from a financial planning standpoint because we kind of had those taken out of the financial plan for most folks in this situation. So now it's an added value and added benefit that you need to go get, and you need to file some paperwork to be able to do that. So you want to get with your financial advisor to do that. You can also log in on your own site.
SSA.gov.
So you want to go to ssa.gov and at least put in your own information. If you haven't ever created an account, create an account so that you can claim it, and then you can see what you might be personally qualified for, but also so that you can get the claim paperwork to file with your spouse, right? What else should people know?
So just, I highly encourage you to reach out to us if you don't have a financial advisor, or reach out to your own financial advisor to walk you through these steps, because they're actually backdating it too, for as far back as I think July of 2024, or maybe even farther back, depending on your situation.
Oh, wow. So do people just get a check?
They'll just get caught up check, and then they'll start getting the monthly check right now. This is a process, and it takes a while for approval. You have to submit all these documents. So that's why I'm saying, like, reach out to us if you don't have a financial advisor, or contact your own, and they should be able to walk you through those steps.
Hey, this is critical information. It's very important that you understand your Social Security benefits in general, but even more important now that you understand that things are changing and they're changing at a rapid rate. So we want you to be involved and understand the new information that's coming out so that you can be informed. But if you need some help, let us know. We're here at National Financial Alliance to help you. We thank you for being part of our podcast today, and we appreciate you.
Thank you for joining.